Hey, guys. Let me get your thoughts, one, on the game that you played, but then on just how it plays out at the end and the disappointment with that.
Yeah, I think it started off a little bit transitional, but I think once we got some momentum, we showed how dangerous we can be. I thought our back three, the plan kind of was working. I thought we were able to really nullify their threats, who have been very, very successful this season. So, yeah, we were really proud of the work the girls were putting in and putting in huge tackles. Maddie Curry, I think, had an incredible night. And I think it just shows you have to be on your game for the entire 96 minutes. We let down at the end. You know, it's tough coming in as a sub and feeling the momentum shift, and that's something that all of us will have to look at. But I don't think you can fault the effort that was put in against a really top team. It's just a shame that we couldn't keep that going through the end and come out with 3 or at least 1 point. We can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, Alyssa, can you walk us through the goal that Claire scored? So at that point, you guys had some pretty good, strong possession spells there for that. How do you see that sort of breakdown?
Yeah, I thought our goal was really good. We had like a lot of possession at the time, and we were winning the ball back after we lost it too. I think our shape behind the ball was really good, and we were able to get in positions like that we practice. And there was just a lot of interchange, and I went wide, and I saw Claire, and she's always in good positions, so I passed her the ball, and she scored.
Yeah, hi, Allie. You spoke about the back three. Obviously, you came in as a sub, but kind of throughout the week or for however long, kind of what was it like adjusting to the new system? When did that come up?
It was a really quick turnaround from the last game, obviously, and the players who played the last game had to recover and get ready for this game. So I think we really only had a day and a bit, and that's why I think even more credit to how well I think that change worked. I think that, Chawinga and Michelle Cooper coming in, Mace, like they had another gear, I think, and were able to wear us down a little bit. But I think that Meg and Sarah and Maddie just were so strong back there. And again, we had really good spells of possession. And that was, I think, the key. And when we lost that a little bit and then we couldn't get pressure on the ball, yeah, they just kept coming and coming. But I do think that we have really good chances. It would be helpful for those 3 in the back line probably to finish a couple more chances, and they were knocking on the door. Franch had a couple really good saves, but yeah, I think we should have come out with, like I said, at least the tie.
Yeah, and then I'm curious about the captain's armband. It looks like something's written on there. I don't know,
Oh, on here?
or the other. Yeah, that. What is? Whose idea was that? Kind of. I don't know if I missed
Yeah,
something.
well, it says big anti-racist energy, which we are proud to have here. I think we have a few different armbands, but we, as a club and as a team, we really want to take all opportunities we can to show what we stand for. So yeah, this is obviously one of our favorites that we've had from last season, and we have our Pride armband as well. So I think there are restrictions to what we can wear when we go out onto the field, but obviously I had that opportunity at the World Cup to find a creative way to show, and I think what the club has done, and huge credit to Brock, our equipment manager, to be able to find a way for us to show what we stand for at this club.
Jackie in the back.
Thank you.
Hi, Allie. Hi, Alyssa. 2 questions, just whoever wants to go for it. But what were just some of the pieces in the second half when you look at the overall game and just internally that you thought were working well, at least?
I thought what was working well was like we were kind of trying to do the same thing in the first half. Definitely the changes that they made it harder for us to get in positions that we wanted to. But I think like if we kept possession for a little bit longer, we could have been in the same spots that we were in the first half. I think it just got challenging as it went on because we were running a lot.
And then Allie, for you, you mentioned how Kansas City came in with this extra kind of like gear in a sense with some of their subs. But how do you think the team, looking forward now, kind of embraces that and levels up for this next road game?
I think we will analyze the game, of course, as usual, and we just, I think being gritty and being really hardworking is something that we pride ourselves on. So now this really showed if we don't do that to the final whistle, that this league is too good, these teams are too good, the players are too good to just let them in an inch. So that's where we, again, the players who started the game, creating great chances, scoring a really, really good goal, that's something, can we keep doing that? Can we keep creating chances? Can we score another goal? And then as defenders, as wingbacks, can we show to the very end that we're willing to put our body on the line, sprint back, recover, and even higher up the field, put pressure on the ball so they don't even get to our defensive third to begin with. So I think putting all of those pieces together is something that we're going to have to do against every single team. And then now, off the back of this loss, it starts with Utah.
I want to get your thoughts on what you were happy with when you guys were ascendant, and in the second half as they start to take over. What was it that you guys didn't do well or were unable to do?
I think first half we created a decent amount of opportunities. I think the game plan, I think structurally, I think we won tackles. I think we came in at halftime in a good position. Something we've talked about is when we do get the lead, we have to continue to play. I think arguably for 89 minutes, I think we did. I think we switched off for the last 6 minutes, and you can't switch off in the last 6 minutes against any team in the NWSL, let alone a team that scored 20 goals. So I think that is reflective of something we need to look at every day, and we just have to get better from it.
Hi, Coach. Thanks for taking time as always. But could you just talk about moving into the 3-4-3 on maybe 3 days of preparation, and then how you saw that play out to limit some of Kansas City's stars?
Yeah, I think we stopped Kansas in transition for the most part of it. I think we were able to keep Bia and Chawinga pretty quiet. They've been two really threatening players, obviously, in the league, and we chose to play in a 3-4-3, build in a 3 with 2 6s to have 5 players available for transition. I think when I looked at other teams play against them, often 1-6 gets punished. That happened to us last time. When you build out with 2 centre-backs really wide, again, if you give the ball away, they're just looking to punish you. So something a little different. We didn't have a crazy amount of time to prepare, but credit to the team. In the time that we did have, they executed it really, really well. And I think that, again, we did limit those chances. I think when you look at Kansas's depth of their squad, ultimately I think that is something that you can bring Dabinia off the bench. You're in a good space. I think disappointed again for the last 6 minutes, really. Di Bernardo hits one top corner, but the last 2 goals, I think, for us, we have to be better defensively. It actually starts with us being better in possession and things that we spoke about before the game, because you will get punished by these teams. I think, again, we had 3 days turnaround, really call it 2. But the team was really bought in and they executed the game plan really well, so that was pleasing for us as well.
Yeah, and then Claire Emsley gets another goal. Could you just talk about her start to the season? Obviously tied up there for Golden Boot race, all that.
Yeah, I think Claire's found this confidence and this flair in the box, and I think it's really cool to see her. It's not even your scrappy goals now she's scoring. It's composure. She knows what she's doing. And I think you need a player like that. You need that player that's going to step up, and that every game they're going to create you or score goals for you. And I think Claire's taken that role on. I think she's kind of found her footing in the NWSL now. I think any player that comes over from Europe always finds it difficult, and I think it takes some time to adapt. And I think Claire's really adapted really well. So yeah, it's great. I think again, Alyssa getting an assist is huge. And we just have to keep working hard in that final third. I know it's cliche to say it's the hardest part of the game, but it really is. Credit to Claire. I think her start to the season's been brilliant.
Becki, 2 questions for you, but just going into the second half with that 1-1 standstill, what was your just messaging to the team in that moment at least?
Yeah, we obviously thought at halftime they would change a little bit. I know that we prepared for what would they do if we came out in a 3-4-3. Would they change the press? Would they change how they built? And they changed a little bit. We knew that we had to continue to play and keep the ball. I think where Kansas really hurt teams are actually when you're in possession. And something we said today was that we may have to concede a little bit of possession because they want us to have the ball. And they want us to give the ball away so they can counter on us. So I think we didn't need to press as high. We basically said to them, well, you have the ball. And actually, when I just looked, it ended up pretty 50-50 in possession. So, yeah, that's something that we have to look at. We have to continue to play when we go 1-0 up. We have to continue to play when we go 2-0 up. We can't just sit back and defend. And again, I don't think we necessarily did that. We just became a little careless on the ball. And mistakes that we talked about that we needed to erase started to come out a little bit as we got tired.
And then also, too, just thinking about Madison Curry's performance, and obviously she did very well in today's game. Just what was your advice or the direction that you gave her for this match?
I think I said it a million times in the last 3 days, is just shape behind the ball. When we have the ball, we have to make sure our shape behind the ball is really good. And I think she really embraces that, like, physical contact. She's not afraid to tackle. She'll go in a 1v1, leave her feet if she needs to, and I think she has that, like, really gritty. Who would have known she went to Princeton, huh? She has that, like, really gritty side of her that is serving her really well. I think she's 5 games into a professional career, and she came out of the draft at 50-something. It's incredible, and she has such a bright future ahead of her. She's devastated right now, and I think she put in a performance that she should be proud of, and you can't ride the emotions of the NWSL because we've got to train tomorrow and we've got to get back on a plane to head out to the next game, which is also the best part. We can turn around and we can fix it in a short space of time. But yeah, I think, again, she's 5 games in and she just has such a bright future ahead of her.
Hey, Becki.
Hey.
Oh, sorry. In the 3-4-3 setup, was Alyssa playing a little deeper than she normally does? And
Yeah, it's
where did you see that?
a new role for Alyssa. And it's a lot of work. But yeah, at times she had to defend as a left back. And I think that, again, she embraced it. I think she did really, really well in it. I think it obviously requires a lot of up and down running, box to box. And she's more familiar with being a little bit closer to goal. But I think she showed a little bit more of a maturity tonight and how much she's growing. She's still 19, but she's taken on a different role. She understood it. I think the first question she asked me yesterday was, does that mean I have to take throw-ins? Which was very interesting. But yeah, no, I think that, again, these are the things that it's the first time we've really played in that shape, using her as a wing-back. But yeah, I think she did really well in it.
Yeah, kind of adding to the whole Alyssa discussion. You mentioned the assist earlier. How important is getting that number? Just for her confidence. Obviously, still very young, but just moving forward.
Yeah, I think this year is a great year for Alyssa to just be herself and enjoy the game again, and enjoy football. I think last year was a whirlwind year for her as a rookie. I just want to take all that pressure off her and just give her that, like, love of the game. And I think you can see that she's definitely. She's played a lot of minutes in the last 6 games, and I think that, again, is like another piece of maturity to her game, is the way she plays. She often can't get to 90 minutes because it's so explosive, and she's just growing in that space as well, growing into herself as a young adult, and I think there is nothing better than her being herself when she's happy and she's enjoying her football, and I think you can see that she's starting to, like, really embrace who she is as a player, and kind of take that, like, pressure off herself and just play.